Hello, folks. Welcome to Kudlow. I'm Larry Kudlow. All right, breaking news of the worst kind this evening. The Atlanta Fed's GDP tracker posted a minus 1% for the second quarter. That after yesterday's minus 1.6% downward GDP revision for Q1. We are now looking at a recession in the first half of the year and accompanied by roughly 8 to 10% inflation. This is really the worst possible combination. Today's personal income and spending report showed a drop in consumer spending in May, and real disposable income, which is total income after taxes, after inflation, that has fallen 3.3% over the past year. When Joe Biden came into office, he was handed a Trumpian economy that scored 6.5% growth with less than 2% inflation. In just 18 months, Biden's big government socialist economic policies have decimated a near perfect American economy. It's a tragedy. Now, a key Biden policy that has pulled down the economy is his stubborn overregulation of energy in particular and business in general. Radical climate change, the Green New Deal, and Biden's insistence that he will end fossil fuels, that has stalled production and skyrocketed prices. But the cavalry is on the way. Indeed, some of the cavalry's early squadrons have already landed. Today, the Supreme Court dealt a major blow to unelected bureaucratic deep state federal regulators, especially energy regulators, and most particularly the EPA. The court decided in favor of West Virginia in the dispute over the Clean Power Plan and declared that the EPA has no authority to regulate greenhouse gases. Let me put this even more bluntly. There is no Green New Deal without explicit statutory authorization from Congress. In other words, the voters elect Congress and the Congress can make the laws, but unelected bureaucrats cannot. This is a huge decision by the Supremes. For one, Biden's proposed 32% cut in carbon emissions by 2030, which is only a few years away from now, is off the books. For another, Biden's carbon-free electricity by 2035, that is off the books also. The self-exalted, power-grabbing, Green New Deal-infested Biden EPA just got its wings clipped. It may have had its ears cut off. Maybe they'll be left with a nose for breathing purposes, but that's about all. The executive branch cannot take matters into their own hands. The principle articulated by the court is known as the major questions doctrine, and it just means that regulatory rules that affect the entire economy cannot proceed without clear congressional laws. Also, the principle of federalism was upheld again by the court. It is the states who are empowered to make power and energy decisions in the absence of any clear federal legislation. And constitutionally, that is exactly how it ought to be. By the by, this constitutionally backed power of federalism is the same doctrine used by the Supremes when they moved Roe v. Wade abortion decisions back to the states and their legislatures and the voters who elected the legislatures. Importantly, this decision by the court extends well beyond the EPA. This puts all federal regulatory agencies on short leash notice. For example, the SEC has no authority to establish environmental rules for large companies. No law, not their mission. Similarly, the OSHA administration had exceeded its authority on mandating COVID-19 vaccinations in a court ruling last January. The HHS cannot use power to regulate public health in order to make labor or corporate or even environmental decisions. The Supremes today restored representative and constitutional government. And as I said, the early squadrons of the cavalry have landed, block by block. They're taken back the country in a noble effort to restore life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness here on the July 4th weekend. All is not yet won, folks, but in the last week or so, we've seen very strong progress. That is my riff.